Hello, my name is Stephen Fox and my partner in this project is Caitlin Cordova. This presentation is a review of an article which studied PTSD after 9/11. We all know what happened in New York on 9/11. Most of us were not there to experience the trauma firsthand. The article reviewed in this presentation follows 991 victims who went to a primary care hospital in New York after the attacks. The article studies the link between 9/11 survivors and PTSD. It focuses on late onset, relapse, and long-term PTSD. According to the article's research, the greatest predictors of PTSD were socioeconomic status, proximity to the attacks, pre-existing mental illness, anxiety, and depressive disorders, and a death of a friend or family member in the attack. This article conducted a study of 991 survivors, first 1 year after the attack, and then 4 years after the attack. The 991 survivors were all admitted to Columbia University Medical Center after 9/11. Most of the 991 survivors were minorities, and most were from low-income households. There were several significant findings found in the article. First, physical injuries and disabilities did not seem to be associated with the onset of PTSD. This was surprising to me. Second, pre-existing major depressive disorders and pre-existing anxiety were the most accurate predictors of PTSD. Third, those who remitted from the baseline, or in other words, those who had PTSD, got better, and then relapsed back to PTSD were 3 times likelier to have suicidal ideation. Fourth, those with late onset PTSD, meaning they tested negative for PTSD 1 year after the attack, but positive 4 years after the attack, were 6 times more likely to have major depression and 3 times more likely to have an anxiety disorder. Terrorist attacks will, unfortunately, happen again. The research we do today can help future survivors overcome their traumas. Sequela is a term used which basically implies a lot of things have gone bad internally. We must study and learn to identify, treat, and if possible prevent post-terrorism mental health sequela. We must study chronic PTSD predictors and perpetrators. What causes late onset PTSD, and how do you help victims prepare for triggers which may cause a relapse? There is a significant relationship between post-attack substance abuse and PTSD. We must study better methods to prevent, screen, and treat substance abuse in post-terror attack victims. Another implication for future study is to create a screening method to target long-term, late-onset, and/or relapse PTSD years after the attacks. Finally, the immediate emergency response did not include a mental health post-intervention plan. Creating and designing a plan after an attack while things are in chaos is impractical. There should already be a template in place. Research on historical trauma is important. Taking that research and using it to help future victims is a responsibility we all share. Thank you for watching and listening to this presentation.